sponsored by Ocean Wave Cleaning and Restoration.
In this delightful episode of Fashion Monger Academy, FMA's host Minervia Akers and co-host Pina Cefalo Boatwright, registered dietitian and culinary instructor, invites viewers back into her charming pink kitchen to explore the vibrant flavors of Asian cuisine. Known for her expertise in healthy eating and her passion for making nutritious dishes accessible, Chef Pina crafts a quick non-cook meal that is both inspiring and approachable. Step by step, Chef Pina guides viewers through the preparation, offering insights into key methods that bring out the best in the ingredients. Her approachable style ensures that even novice cooks can follow along and create their own version of the dish. Warning: consult with your doctor before you indulge in edible flowers. This is Fashion Monger Academy. Coming up in this episode, co-host Pina Cefalo Boatwright, also known as Chef Pina, introduces a refreshing flower power mocktail while crafting shrimp tofu spring rolls adorned with edible flowers. Get ready, FMA students, as we celebrate the beauty and flavor of flowers, letting your culinary creations bloom with elegance and taste. This FMA episode is not just a cooking demonstration. It is an invitation to explore, learn, and savor. Pina Cefalo Boatwright's blend of culinary expertise, health-conscious insights, and charming personality makes this installment a memorable culinary adventure. Whether you are a seasoned cook or a beginner looking to try something new, this episode promises inspiration, flavor, and a touch of pink kitchen magic. Flower Power Mocktail. Hibiscus flower. To complement the edible flower-inspired Asian dish, Chef Pina paired it with a refreshing hibiscus flower power mocktail, creating a harmonious blend of flavors that celebrates nature's vibrance, offering a burst of color and a soothing, aromatic experience. Chef Pina demonstrates the delightful concoction mocktail, as she combines the tart floral notes of hibiscus, passion fruit, chamomile, and roses tea with lime juice, pineapple juice, and honey. She garnished the mocktail with orchid edible flower, creating a refreshing beverage that pairs beautifully with tofu spring rolls or stands alone as a revitalizing drink. Perfectly aligned with her health-conscious approach, this drink not only pleases the palate, but also provides a dose of wellness, making it the ideal addition to the meal. With this pairing, Pina continues to inspire her audience by weaving together culinary creativity and mindful nourishment.
And I'm just going to pour that over some ice. So I have my little funnel just to keep it from creating a gigantic spill of a mess. So my funnel will help me here. All right, so there goes my infusion, my tea infusion, which is really great. To this, I may decide to add, there's lots of different options here, but for some citrus flavor, because I have that tart, and I also have the sweet, so I have a honey, and I have a little bit, so to balance out that flavor, I'm gonna add a little bit of citrus. So you can do lime. You can also do lemon here. Lemon and lavender and lemon and chamomile are a really great option. If you did a ginger with this, lemon would be really fantastic, but I'm just gonna use some lime because I'm so ready for summer. So I'm actually doing some pineapple and lime, kind of those summer flavors. I'm gonna add some pineapple juice to my tea.
Chef Pina's Flower Power Mocktail is a refreshing, vibrant drink that showcases the charm and flavor of edible flowers. The mocktail is a symphony of floral notes blended with fruit juices and a subtle hint of natural sweetness. Edible flower petals, such as Dendrobium orchid, float delicately atop the drink, turning it into a feast for the eyes as much as for the palate. This mocktail not only serves as a conversation starter at gatherings, but also embodies the principles of nourishment and wellness. By carefully selecting organic and pesticide-free flowers, Chef Pina ensures that the drink is both safe and delicious. The Flower Power Mocktail is a testament to how edible flowers can transform an ordinary beverage into an extraordinary experience.
passion flower. We have hibiscus, tons of great edible flowers in our tea mocktail. And we have an edible orchid. What's prettier than an edible orchid in a floating drink? Gorgeous. Enjoy. Chin chin.
This is Fashion Monger Academy, the art of living well. Fashion, style, decor, lifestyle curated show. At its core, the FMA show integrates the vibrant worlds of fashion, style, and decor with the enriching domains of culinary arts, health, and wellness. This interdisciplinary approach ensures a well-rounded experience where aesthetics meet functionality and style meets substance. This FMA episode is not just a cooking demonstration. It is an invitation to explore, learn, and savor. Pina Cefalo Boatwright's blend of culinary expertise, health-conscious insights, and charming personality makes this installment a memorable culinary adventure. Whether you are a seasoned cook or a beginner looking to try something new, this episode promises inspiration, flavor, and a touch of pink kitchen magic. Chef Pina demonstrates using edible flowers in this creative and exciting Asian-inspired dish, shrimp and tofu spring rolls, while host Minervia looks on. Spring rolls with edible flowers are a vibrant, fresh, and healthy dish that requires no cooking, making it perfect for warm days or quick meal preparation. These spring rolls are not only visually stunning, but also infused with protein and delicate floral flavors. Coming up,
we're going to be preparing some delicious spring rolls with a twist. We're going to be making edible flower spring rolls. These are a great addition to any spring and hopefully summer menu. So you can have these prepared and ahead of time, and you can serve them for a brunch, for a lunch, and also makes really great dinner options. They're so fun. And it's just a really beautiful, fun way to eat.
Yes.
What I love about this, and it's so clean.
It's clean.
But what I love about it is that it's
Feel guilty.
no cook.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So we have a no cook recipe with this.
Very true.
You know, especially when we're just getting out of the winter doldrums. We were like,
Feeling the spring.
we want to feel the spring energy.
Yeah, the colors itself.
Yeah, you want a spring energy. You don't want to just like be in the kitchen all day cooking. But this is also somewhere where you can get all your nutrition without having to spend hours and hours like prepping or cooking.
the Flower Power Mocktail and Orchid Shrimp Tofu Spring Rolls exemplify the harmony of beauty, flavor, and creativity. They are not merely food and drink. They are expressions of artistry that elevate any occasion, from casual gatherings to elegant soirees. These dishes remind us that edible flowers are more than a garnish. They are a celebration of nature's splendor. With Chef Pina's inspiration, edible flowers can take center stage on your table, bringing a touch of elegance, creativity, and nourishment to every meal. So embrace the flower power and let your culinary creations blossom with beauty and flavor.
What other nutrition you get, like the protein?
Oh my goodness. So this is like a canvas. You have to think of when we're preparing a spring roll. I want to tell you a little bit of history on the spring rolls because it's so fascinating.
Yes.
So I love it. But this is rice paper. So rice paper, you can feel how soft it is. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard, but it will become very soft and like gelatinous, almost like gummy, right? When we get this wet.
Fun fact, dry rice paper feels brittle like plastic, but add a bit of water and it turns stretchy and sticky in seconds, like magic.
But the history of a spring roll, just like this freshness that you're seeing here, dates back from, I was doing like some, really in-depth research on this.
Okay.
It dates back all the way to ancient China.
Wow.
The dynasties of ancient
That's
China.
amazing.
Fun fact, by the Tang and Song dynasties' 7th to 13th centuries, people began wrapping ingredients in thin wheat-based sheets.
And so there were some chefs in ancient China that were deciding what can they do to showcase some of the spring vegetables, some of the strong spring vegetables like onions and garlic and other vegetables that they wanted to just be able to say like, okay, this is like, that would be able to say this is spring.
Right.
And they were thinking of like ways they can present it, and they had it just wrapped in a dough. So all these like fresh vegetables that was supposed to be sort of reminiscent of spring. They wrapped it in a pastry dough, and then from there it kind of took off. So it really started in ancient China. So this is such a dish that has carried on for like years and years and years and years.
Amazing.
But it's been so if I think of this as my canvas, you think about all the countries that have spring rolls.
Fun fact, They have global cousins. Many countries have their own version of a fresh roll. Thai fresh rolls, Filipino lumpia, Chinese popia, or even Japanese tamaki resemble the same grab-and-go freshness.
And that's where I find it like super fascinating. You can travel in all different countries. Think about like the Vietnamese spring roll, right? It's fresh. The Chinese spring rolls, they will just like submerge this and cook it, right? Either like the pastry or the dough.
Okay.
And that's where you get like that hard shell spring roll.
Because this is not fried. So
Yeah,
that's
not fried. So we are definitely not frying this. And so if you go to Thailand, if you go to Vietnam, there's also parts of the Philippines, Laos, Malaysia. There's all different names for the spring rolls as well. So it's kind of fun. So it's like it's adapted, right, to different cultures.
Okay.
And the different fillings. So when you think about a fresh spring roll,
Makes sense.
I think of like fresh vegetables, something that we can add. You get all those flavors.
Okay.
And then that's sort of like you're layering all your flavors. And then you can think about your protein.
Okay.
Chef Pina's Orchid Shrimp Tofu Spring Rolls are a delightful fusion of textures, flavors, and aesthetics. These rolls combine succulent shrimp, silky tofu, crisp vegetables, and fragrant herbs, all encased in delicate rice paper. Nestled within each roll are vibrant orchid petals, which infuse the dish with a subtle floral essence and a splash of color. The pairing of orchids with the fresh ingredients enhances not only the visual appeal, but also the unique flavor profile of the dish. Served with 2 different dipping sauces, peanut butter sauce and a ginger tangy herb sauce. These spring rolls are perfect as appetizers or light meals, making them an ideal addition to any occasion. Chef Pina's thoughtful use of flowers pays homage to their versatility and ability to elevate simple ingredients into works of art.
So today, what we're going to be doing is a tofu based spring roll wrap and then shrimp. So your protein you can really play around with. This you can really do anything with. I mean, if you wanted to cook some chicken with this, if you wanted to have pork, if you wanted to stick, even fish. I mean, honestly, anything goes for a protein. And in terms of the veg assortment, anything goes too. Should we talk about like what's on this beautiful board?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So with the spring roll, again, we have our beautiful, very simple, and you can buy these in any store, just the rice paper.
Okay.
You can feel the texture.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So
It feels weird, but
right?
it melts down, I guess.
Yes, you're going to be really careful on how to use this, but I'll demonstrate to show you. But what you're looking for is a flavor pop. So you want something that's crunchy. So when you think of spring vegetables, I have some carrots. I have my cucumbers and a crunch. So I have my bean sprouts. And then and then to have as many fresh herbs as you want. That's where you're going to get a lot of the flavor. So there's a lot of different ways that you can make a spring roll. But if you wanted to have it super, super simple and also just all that flavor, I would keep to all the flavors that are really intense. So I have mint. I have cilantro. I have basil.
Wow.
I have my really spicy pepper. I have red cabbage. My spring onion.
Those look great.
It's amazing.
They always look wilted when I get them. Jeez, they look like it came right out the garden.
It's so good. And then we have our edible flowers. We have our orchids. And orchids are gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
They're gorgeous, right? And they're edible. And I'll show you how to lay it down on the wrapper so that you have the orchid kind of very pronounced.
Okay.
And a spring roll, you eat with your eyes with the spring roll. Because you have so many vibrant colors and you have so many flavors, we don't want to add a whole bunch of, oh, and I forgot, I'm sorry. We have also our butter lettuce.
Okay.
You want to go with the butter lettuce. See how soft that is?
Yeah, because I was like looking at it, I'm like, is that the Boston lettuce they used to call it?
Yeah, right. The Boston like butter lettuce. It's so soft. So you have to think like once we start to handle that wrapper, it will feel like you can't wrap it. So you want to just work with something that's going to give you some softness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine putting a romaine lettuce in there. It's like crunchy, right? That thing will fall apart.
Right.
You want your spring roll to stay intact.
Okay.
So as you're rolling, and I'll show you how to roll it like an envelope, and so it stays intact.
Okay. Great. This sounds fantastic.
Spring is a season of renewal. And what better way to celebrate its arrival than by incorporating edible flowers into your meals? These vibrant blooms not only add visual appeal, but also bring unique flavors and benefits to the table. Let us delve into the world of edible flowers, exploring their rich history, health advantages, and creative ways to use them in cooking. Edible flowers are a delightful way to welcome the freshness and beauty of spring. With their deep-rooted history, healthful properties, and versatility, they can transform ordinary dishes into extraordinary culinary creations. So why not embrace the season by experimenting with the vibrant colors and flavors of edible flowers? Let them inspire you to craft meals that are as delicious as they are visually stunning. The practice of using flowers in food is as old as culinary traditions themselves. Ancient civilizations such as the Romans, Chinese, and Greeks commonly incorporated flowers into their diets, often as garnishes in teas, or even as medicinal remedies and symbolizing luxury and refinement. Cultures worldwide have embraced the natural beauty and taste of these blossoms, weaving them into their gastronomic and cultural heritage. Coming up.
So the very first thing I'm going to show you today is my homemade makeshift tofu press. You can get really fancy with this. I know there's like lots of different tofu presses out there. I actually don't own one because I don't feel like I need one. But if you felt like you didn't want to do this like little system that I have here, you can definitely find one and shop around for one. So I just have a very firm, extra firm tofu here. So I've set this in my bowl, extra firm tofu. You want an extra firm tofu. The reason why is we want to make sure that we're not having any wet ingredients on our rice paper. So once we have this wet, you want to try to keep the filling of your rice paper as dry as possible so that you can roll it up. Imagine you have like all that slippery stuff in there. If it's wet, it won't roll up, it won't seal up, and all of the wonderful content that you put in here will spill out. So the goal when you're choosing your veggies is make sure that everything is dry. I was going to demonstrate also what to do with our cucumbers. So anything that's wet, you want super dry. My butterleaf lettuce, I washed this and then I really dried it. So make sure that you're having some paper towels to this. You can feel that it's dry. So
it is dry. How do you get it so dry?
Yeah, so when you wash it, you can do a salad spinner and spin it out, and all the water will, sort of drain out.
Right.
Or as soon as you've washed it, make sure you get all your gunk and dirt and anything else that's on the leaves. Set it on a paper towel and then tap down the paper towel so that you're just creating like sort of a way that it
But I do that, but it just never gets that beautiful.
And you can see that I did this.
I damage it when I do it.
It's all super washed and super clean, but very, very dry.
That's amazing. It is.
So your key is to have things dry. So you have to think of things like vegetables naturally have water content.
Yeah.
In them, right?
And it just looks yummy looking at them.
Right?
Yeah.
It looks so delicious. Yummy, yummy. So, and you really want to think about other things that are like sort of on my board here, things that would be wet ingredients. You could have your shrimp. This is a cooked shrimp. And so I made sure that this was very dry too. So with this, I cooked it. This you can get your cocktail shrimp. If you want to do a no-cook recipe, you can get cocktail shrimp, already cooked shrimp.
True.
And then make sure that if it's frozen shrimp, like a frozen cocktail shrimp, make sure that you rehydrate that and then dry it out.
Okay.
So I did the same thing. So taking like those paper towels or a nice towel, making sure that you get all that moisture out. So if you look at this, it's like my shrimp is very dry.
Yeah.
It's definitely moist inside, but dry so that when you're cutting it, you're not having water leaking out of the shrimp.
Okay.
The same thing. Your cucumber, which adds so much crunch and flavor. So you want to really make sure that when you're cutting your cucumber, you're getting all those bits off so that you're getting, kind of the skin and a little bit of the interior.
Oh, you don't want the seed.
All the moisture.
That's why it looks so nice.
So, I actually had one as an example here where you can see kind of like what the inside of obviously the seeds.
Yes.
My difference, right?
What a difference.
Now, if you're using this versus this, it may not seem like a big deal. So you just want to make sure you're cutting away the seeds. So that's where all that water lives.
Yes, that makes sense.
Delicious.
Right.
And again, what we're trying to do is get a dry product so that you can wrap it and it stays intact, right? And so our tofu is going to be a really big thing because you can see how much water is released. So what I did is I put my package of extra firm tofu, just put it in the bowl. I didn't add any water to this. Tofu naturally comes in water, so it's submerged in water. Keeps it fresh.
Okay.
So I took it out of the water, I put it in the bowl, and then I added my own, don't laugh, funny, little tofu press. So I added water to this
It
bowl.
Works.
And it sits right on top, and I just set it and forget it.
Yep. And you put water in the bowl, and that's
to
it.
weight it down.
Yeah.
So I'm creating a little weight
that's
tofu
fantastic.
press. So my little press here is now expelled a bunch of water, right? So like enough water there, and that's what we want to see. We're going to drain that water and then cut our tofu. So we're trying to get a dry product.
Okay.
And we'll do that in just a minute. And next, so we're going to work with that tofu. Remember we talked about how that tofu has been drained with our homemade tofu press. So we can just take that tofu, and again, you want to just do very thin slices. And you can season this tofu, but again, we're going for a fresh flavor. So really what you want to do is make sure that all of the flavors that you're putting in your wrapper is not going to be wet, right? So you could create a little sauce for this, but I would suggest if you want to just keep it fresh, that we just stick with just the flavors of the ingredients that you're using. So we've cut that tofu in like long length strips. And again, I can feel a little bit of moisture here, so I'm just going to put this down on my paper towel, just to kind of just dab it here a little bit, just to see if we can get any other little moisture out.
The episode unfolds in Pina's distinctive pink kitchen, where Pina masterfully combines elements of Asian cooking, showcasing ingredients and techniques that highlight the cuisine's rich traditions. From the careful selection of fresh vegetables to the precise balance of spices and seasonings, every aspect of the dish is crafted thoughtfully in a space that radiates warmth and creativity. The kitchen serves as a testament to her philosophy that cooking should be a joyful experience, where health and flavor come together harmoniously to reflect her culinary expertise.
All right, so next we're going to work with our proteins. And our protein choice for today is the shrimp, and we're going to use a plant-based protein, tofu, and shrimp. So when you're working with your cocktail shrimp, this is where you can start to kind of feel it out. If it's feeling like it's wet, you might want to dry it out a little bit. Just a fine chop here, nothing crazy. Again, you want a little bit of that crunch. You're going to get a ton of crunch here with your carrots, your cucumbers. You want your protein to have a crunch as well. So I've just chopped up my shrimp. I'm going to be making a shrimp veggie roll and a tofu veggie roll. And then there I go, put it in my bowl for easy assembly. Clean up your station, and then we'll be ready to assemble.
Coming up, edible flowers. What are the benefits of edible dendrobium orchids? Edible orchids aren't just pretty on your plate, they come with some surprising benefits. They are rich in antioxidants that help fight free radicals, supporting cellular health and aging gracefully. Natural immune support. In traditional Chinese medicine, orchids, especially dendrobium, are used to boost the immune system and improve vitality. Naturally helps with hydration and skin health. Orchids can help the body retain moisture, making them a popular extract in beauty and wellness products for glowing skin. Also great for digestive aid. Some orchid species have mild anti-inflammatory properties and have been used in herbal remedies to soothe digestion. Orchid are a great way to enhance the mood. The mild floral aroma and visual beauty of orchids can elevate your mood, especially when used as edible garnishes or in teas. Orchids are low in calories. High in charm, edible orchids add elegance to dishes without adding calories, making them a favorite in upscale, healthy dining.
Okay, in this next step, what we're going to do is work with our rice paper. So remember, this is delicate. We don't want to oversaturate our rice paper with too much water. So we're going to heat up our water first, and I'll show you how to use it, and we're going to get ready to wrap. But before we get ready to wrap, you really want to make sure that you have your mise en place, which is everything in its place, so that you're ready to go. You have to work really fast when you've got a rice paper. If you get your rice paper too wet, you're going to find you have like a mess. The goal is that you want to keep it tucked in the little envelope and all the contents stay in here, and it'll be so delicious and really amazing and very pleasing on the dish. It's going to pop with colors and lots of flavor. But if you have a rice paper that falls apart, it's not going to be fun. So we really want to make sure that you're eating, and if you're preparing this in advance, let's say you have a party and you're like, wow, this is like gorgeous, I really want to use some edible flowers. You really want to make sure all your ingredients are super dry so that the longer that they stay, they're not getting all of this wet.
True. And you can get a basic rice paper at even Walmart.
Oh
nowadays.
yeah, any store.
Any store
Basically,
has it now.
any store you can get this. And
what type? That's just called rice paper. Is that
so
type?
it's just spring roll wrappers.
Okay.
Yeah, spring roll wrapper, rice paper. Because there's so many different variations of spring rolls, you can make them with dough. We're using this traditional, so that's a fresh
So that's rice.
It's a rice
really
paper.
rice.
Yeah, so it's just a rice paper
Wow.
wrapper. So we're using fresh ingredients. We're not cooking this. We're not submerging this in oil. We're not frying it. All the fresh ingredients. So
Okay.
that's why I really hesitate to even use any marinades. You can get really fancy with
Yes.
getting your shrimp with like lots of flavor. You can season your tofu. You can make like a little sauce with it. But again, all of that just creates the wetness. So if you want to keep this for a while,
That's what you're saying.
and you want to serve them fresh, you just don't want them to fall apart.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little tricky hack. But right now, I feel all my ingredients, everything is very dry. So I washed out all of my herbs. I have my cilantro, my basil. Again, all of this is like that can really hold a lot of moisture, but everything feels nice and dry. So once I put it in here, it's going to be able to wrap. And then the goal is not to overwrap. So you want to get a little bit of water in your bowl, and I'll show you how we can get assembled. But part of the getting started is making sure that you're thinking like, what flavors am I looking for? But you can. This is where your canvas is your rice paper.
Ah, I
And
see.
you can fill it with whatever you want.
That's true.
There's no. You could just do. You know what? You're probably like, I want a spring onion and some orchids.
Right.
Co-host health coach Pina invites you to welcome the fresh energy of spring with a vibrant, health-conscious meal that's as effortless as it is nourishing. Imagine a protein-rich, no-cook option like edible flour, shrimp and tofu spring roll, delicately wrapped in rice paper. These spring rolls are not only visually stunning, but also brimming with vibrant vegetables and proteins. Each bite bursts with freshness, offering a balance of crunch and delicate floral notes that transport your taste buds to a blooming garden. Pair it with the Flower Power mocktail, and you have a duo that's perfect for energizing your day while celebrating the season's renewal.
It's not going to work, but I don't want you to be intimidated by it. You might try a couple of different times. And so here's where we're going to layer in the flowers first, because we want our flowers to pop first, right?
Okay.
And you're going to think about, let's say maybe you want to layer in 3 flowers, and then for some pretty green, this is our canvas, you're the artist.
Yeah.
This is your culinary artistic expression. You have your flowers down, your green. Now you can see that once I turn this,
Yes, that's what you're gonna see.
you're going to see this. Now you're like, ooh, maybe I want to pop a color.
Right.
I might want to do some carrots, right?
I love how it's see-through.
Yeah, so it's all see-through. So because it's translucent like that, you want to
Translucent.
think about,
Yes,
right?
that's the proper word.
Well,
Yes.
it is see-through completely, and you want to think about like what pop of colors, because you're going to see it from all sides. And when you do wrap it, you're going to see that beautiful color come through, shining through.
Okay.
The colors shine through, the flowers come through, and that's what you're going to see first.
Yeah, that's really nice.
All right, so bloopers.
Yeah, that's what would happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you handle your rice paper aggressively, or I don't know, not with care, you have to be gentle, this is your canvas, we're not this.
Yeah.
It's gonna break.
It's gonna break, so
this-
handle with care.
Handle with care. This is not gonna feel as, I think once you start to put some water to this, you're gonna start to even feel. Maybe I'll just show you just an example of what
Yeah.
it looks like if you get it too wet. You really just wanna dunk this. So once we get some hot water in our bowl, dunk, and you actually wanna pull it out before it's even fully submerged.
So basically, the only cooking you're doing is heating up hot water.
That's it.
Edible flowers do more than just beautify your plate. They offer a range of health benefits. Many edible flowers are rich in vitamins, antioxidants, and essential nutrients. For example, nasturtiums. Packed with vitamin C, they boost immunity and have antimicrobial properties. A calendula. Known for its anti-inflammatory effects, calendula supports skin health and digestion. A lavender. Recognized for its calming properties, it helps alleviate stress and promotes relaxation. A hibiscus. Often used in teas, hibiscus is linked to heart health and supports blood pressure regulation. Additionally, edible flowers are a natural way to infuse dishes with flavor and color without relying on artificial additives.
And I know that it might feel like there's not any, where is my flavor here? Remember, we're working with fresh ingredients. This is, I call like edible flowers like, you know, God's food. Because like, how could you make something so beautiful and
I can't believe it. Yeah,
Right?
those look like.
and edible,
Wow, that's amazing.
and great for you, right? But I feel the same way about herbs. I mean, think about it. We've got like mint. It's just the smell.
Yeah,
of
that's
mint.
my favorite.
Oh,
I even put that in a lot of drinks.
right? The smell of mint. It just is infusive, and you've got so much flavor, right?
Yeah,
so
you do.
don't be shy about using the flavor.
That's
if
so
you have
true.
an aversion to cilantro, which some people do.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the taste.
No, it's interesting because some people have the genetic variant, so they actually taste, when they taste cilantro, you and I might like it if we don't have that genetic variant.
Oh.
But I know that there are some people that can taste like soap in their
That's
mouth.
what they say, yeah.
It tastes like soap. But if you don't use cilantro, there's other things you can use. You
Okay.
can do chives, you can do parsley.
Really?
Parsley
Okay.
works really well. Again, you're just looking for like a lot of good
And
flavors.
did you have the Chinese basil this time?
I have the Thai basil,
I mean Thai basil, sorry. Thai basil.
Thai sweet basil.
Oh,
Yes,
yummy.
so I do have the Thai sweet basil this time.
Mhm.
And we are cooking with Thai sweet basil. And this is where you may want to have some extra heat.
Okay.
Right? And this is a fresh heat. We have no, I de-seeded this, so this is our we have our Thai chilies and then our Fresno peppers. So
Okay.
you can de-seed them, or you can leave the seeds in if you just really want a little bit of extra heat. Totally fine. And I have some cabbage. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, this cabbage adds a lot of crunch.
The
a lot
red
of
cabbage.
Flavor, red cabbage. In our scallions, of course.
Okay.
All right, so we're heating up our water, and then we're gonna get ready to roll.
Stay tuned. When using edible flowers, always ensure they are pesticide-free and safe for consumption. Opt for flowers grown specifically for culinary purposes or source from trusted suppliers. Here are some ways to incorporate them into your dishes. Salads. Toss petals from pansies, nasturtiums, or calendula into a fresh green salad for a burst of color and a hint of peppery or citrusy flavor. Infused beverages. Create floral-infused teas, cocktails, or lemonades using hibiscus, chamomile, or rose petals. Desserts. Elevate cakes, cupcakes, and pastries by decorating them with crystallized violets or edible orchids. Or herbal butters. Blend herbaceous flowers like chives or lavender into softened butter for a fragrant spread. As a garnish, add delicate blossoms such as chive blossoms, marigolds, borage, or bachelor's buttons to soups, appetizers, desserts, or cocktails for an elegant touch. Up next, FMA lesson.
All right, here we go. So we've got some hot water. It's boiling right now. You don't have to have it boiling, but trust me, you want to just dunk. Take it out even before it like sort of, you start to feel it, and that's it. I wouldn't even go any more than that. Take it out, lay it flat on your board, remove the hot water so you're not tempted to use more of it.
Interesting, yeah.
You're gonna be like, that's not hot enough. You want you want it to lie flat there for you, so you can start to roll it, and you can see that and you can also use your fingers. So,
Oh yeah, that's a bit better.
So if you're not dunking, because that's gonna oversaturate it.
True.
So right now I feel like I've got some control over this, and you can see where it's like, ooh, so if this got any wetter, like I would be able to lose control of this. So remember the sequence. We're gonna lay your flowers down first, so those are where they're gonna shine. You see those first. I'm gonna go with my 3 flowers because it's gonna look so pretty. I'm building my little canvas color. I have my lettuce. You don't want to overstuff. It's going to feel really hard not to do that. But I'm going to do my tofu one first. So I'm going to lay down just what we've cut out of the tofu. And then I'm going to start with a couple of carrots, just with some extra color, maybe my cucumbers for crunch. And I might be feeling a little bit of a sprinkle of color here with my, I have the orchids on one side, and I have my cabbage on the other side. That feels good. So, and this is where you can layer in your basil, maybe layer in your cilantro. This is already feeling like extra stuffed for me. And
yeah, I would get carried away.
Right? You can get a little carried away here. So now you're going to roll this like your burrito. So you're going to have that center. Roll this over, and then you want to tuck in, so you can see now I can still manipulate that. If it was too wet, you would not be able to. Tuck it in, so all of your filling basically gets rolled. You want to think about your envelope. You're sealing that envelope, and And then just roll, roll, roll. Hold it tight, hold it tight, hold it tight, hold it tight. Roll, roll, roll. There she is.
And it seals on its own.
It seals. So,
Oh, wow.
gorgeous.
Edible flowers have long captivated the culinary world, transforming dishes into visually stunning and flavor-rich masterpieces. As co-host of the FMA, Chef Pina brings this art form to life with her preparation of two exquisite creations, the Flower Power Mocktail and Orchid Shrimp Tofu Spring Rolls. These dishes not only tantalize the taste buds, but also celebrate the beauty and versatility of edible flowers, elevating any dining experience with their elegance and creativity.
I'm gonna go with my edible flowers. You can see, so if you're working with different edible flowers, you may decide to have like sort of an arrangement on your plates. Let's say you decide to be your culinary chef and artist at the same time.
True.
And you're thinking you want to work with violas, or you want to work with carnations, or you want to work with rose
Oh, no
petals.
flower at all.
Any flowers, but you want to make sure that the green is underneath there, so the
I
green
see.
is going to pop.
Okay.
Right? Because if you did this, because it's see-through, and it's translucent, if you don't have the green, you're going to see all your filling in there. So I'm going to work with my flowers here. I'm going to arrange maybe 2. I like the way the 3 works here. And always have your little butter, soft lettuce.
Okay.
It's just kind of, it will hold the flowers together. And then here I want to do maybe a little bit of spice, right? So I'm going to just line up my spice because I want the spice to be, these are your hot peppers. And I'm feeling a little cabbage. Again, this is where it's like your brain can just be like, oh, what do I feel right now? I haven't even used my delicious bean sprouts. But what about some bean sprouts and shrimp together, right? Because now when I do my sauce, I have a nice spicy soy sauce with this. You might want to crunch from the bean sprouts. Why not?
Sounds good.
You can make a whole bunch of these different kinds. Let's see, do I want carrots in this? You can
Sure.
You can play.
It makes pretty color.
You can really just play. Right, so now I might just line up my shrimp here, just kind of in my center. There we go. And now I'm gonna play. So remember to take your wrapper and wrap the corners first. And then you wanna take your, there we go. Be gentle. And then take your filling and tuck it to one corner. So I'll move this over a little bit, and I can just really rearrange all of this. This is my yummy filling. Now, because I've tucked my corners, I'm able to really work on getting a nice tight seal. And honestly, I would probably try these. You don't want to use up expensive ingredients when you're practicing doing that. So maybe just try with just like some ingredients that you're like, okay, I can live without those. Like some bean sprouts. Maybe try filling it with the lettuce and then just practice it so that you're not losing that.
Very true.
And so you can see here, that's my delicious looking. You might want to hydrate that now a little bit because you can. And now I have, you want to just make sure that this should feel like sticky. You don't want to sink your teeth into something that's like paper.
True.
It has to be.
You want to make sure it could bite.
Yeah. Because the goal is you don't want to underhydrate this so that you're, stepping in and eating something that just feels like a paper.
Sure.
That's not fun because the texture of this rice paper when it's wet is so delicious. It's a fun texture.
Does it even give you a flavor? Does it have a flavor to it?
I feel like it just tastes like a gooey, like yummy,
Melt in your mouth type
melt
of
in
thing?
your mouth kind of thing. It feels really great. And there's our beautiful shrimp. So now we have a shrimp, we have a tofu, and you can just keep going with this. You may want to.
And do you bite those like a burrito, or do you cut them?
You can cut them and then have, like, if you're serving this on a dish, that when you cut them and then open them up, you can see all the ingredients in it. If you wanted to leave it like this, you can also leave them like this. If you wanted to make smaller ones, we can play around with making like a much smaller, less filling, and bite size, or you can just chop them up in half. The display plates for these are really cool because if you cut them, and then just, you know, you can stand them upright. But because you have those edible flowers in there,
Yes.
the edible flowers are what shine on the plate.
It does. It
It's
really
beautiful, and
does.
then you're just like kind of cutting into it. So the goal with our edible flowers is that you're arranging it, and if you're using different edible flowers, like let's say you had violas or roses here, you could arrange it on a platter, and it looks like boom, 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 like beautiful, and then your
Beautiful.
socks and your garnish, right?
That is the presentation.
Yeah, it's really
And
spectacular.
that will be like talk of the event.
Yeah. And now we can move on to making our delicious sauce. So we have our tofu and we have our shrimp. So let's make 2 sauces for these.
The culmination of the finished dish. A feast for the senses that embodies the essence of Asian-inspired cuisine combined with edible flowers. Pina's enthusiasm for her craft shines through as she shares the story behind her creation and invites viewers to enjoy the flavors of a culture that has inspired her culinary journey. Coming up next.
Beautiful dish. And here, where you can, again, your canvas, your playground, you're playing, you're an artist, you're a chef, you're a cook, you are having fun with food. I just want you to have fun with food. And having fun with food also makes it an opportunity for it to be visually appealing. So you see here, we have our shrimp, we have our tofu, we have our pretty little flowers, and now we're gonna make a yummy sauce. So a peanut sauce goes really well with this. So some really simple ways of making a peanut sauce. So you can take a tablespoon of peanut butter, and again, you can vary this. We're gonna have a recipe for you so that you can scale this to your taste, also to what you're cooking and how many you're serving. But a very simple way of making a peanut sauce is adding some peanut butter. And we're gonna have some, and again, if you are sensitive or allergic to peanut butter, you can definitely try this with the sun butter. You don't have to use peanut butter. I know a peanut sauce is really
Yeah, they
quite
have
delicious.
so many versions of peanut butter now.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I would stick with the natural peanut
Oh,
butter.
nut butter, I should say.
Yeah,
Nut.
different nut butters, but a peanut butter that's natural, that doesn't have a lot of extra salt, a lot of extra fat and salt,
Okay.
and any of the preservatives, just natural. Because
Okay.
we're going to be adding some sodium back into this, so you don't want to have a really high salty peanut butter to
I
start
see.
with.
Okay.
So I've just added some rice vinegar.
Mhm.
And then for my rice vinegar, if you want just a little bit of sweet, so because I plan on making this a spicy peanut sauce, I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar to my rice vinegar. And when I add the sugar to the rice vinegar, the sugar will dissolve. The rice will dissolve that sugar. So now I have my rice vinegar and my peanut butter, so we've got a nutty, sweety flavors kind of going on. And I'm just going to start mixing this. And you can start adding so that you can start to see your peanut butter is going to become creamy. It's like all lumpy, kind of a room temperature. And the goal is that we're going to get to a place where this will be nice and creamy. I'm going to add some soy sauce. I'm going to add some sesame oil. Again, sesame is one of the top 9 major allergens, so if you are allergic to sesame, you can completely avoid it. It just adds that extra bit of flavor in here. So you absolutely doesn't have, you can go sesame free or made without sesame easily with this. So now we have our sweet, our salty, we've got a little bit of sugar. You can certainly use maple syrup, you can use honey. It's all kinds of different things in terms of like sweeteners. You can omit the sweetener as well. If you're just like, I just want a straight peanut sauce. Now there are peanut sauces that call for milk or coconut milk. If you like a creamy coconut milk based peanut butter sauce, you can definitely do that. You can start to see our sauces kind of coming together here. And when we bite into all those yummy flavors, fresh herbs, our veggies, all those fresh ingredients, this will taste quite spectacular. Now for our kick, because I like a spicy peanut sauce, those yummy peppers that we chopped up, this is where you may decide to add it. Now you can, that's a lot of pepper. You can go less. You can add sriracha to this. So there's so many different ways you can go with this. You can do
Because I think it was more liquidy, the one I saw.
Yeah.
But that's a little thicker, huh?
Yeah, so it's a little bit thicker again because we have so many dry ingredients in here.
I see.
So when you're, kind of dipping in,
True.
it's gonna be like yummy, right?
Yeah.
You want to think like this is a very dry product because we intentionally made it that way. So it's still weighted. I'm not feeling like the heaviness of this, and that's the goal. So when you're dipping that nice dry product, all those veggies are going to soak up. Right, that paper. Think about this. This is our paper. It's going to soak up that sauce.
I see.
And you're going to get all those great, beautiful, awesome flavors.
Coming up next.
Go on in. All right, so we're right down to the final steps here. I think it's nice to have the creamy texture of the peanut butter. So we made a spicy, savory, sweet peanut sauce.
All right.
Remember, we kicked it up with all that heat. But if we wanted just some texture to this, we can crush some peanuts in this.
Okay.
So you can go with some salted peanuts. We only have a little bit of salt. So this whole dish is really a low sodium dish.
Okay.
Right, we haven't used any salt except for that little bit of soy sauce, and I actually use a low sodium soy sauce when I cook.
Okay.
And this dish actually has so this is where you could add just a little bit of that salt back into the dish if you wanted to.
Okay,
If you're
so-
trying to cut back on it.
And so I'm creating a topping to go on top of the peanut butter.
Yeah, just so that you're getting a little bit of that extra crunch. So
Okay.
texture. This is like a crunchy, fresh dish. So yep, we're gonna use our makeshift, just like our tofu press. And you can just crush away. And we're gonna be making another sauce.
A substitute.
Yeah. So
Some people don't like peanuts.
no. So if you don't want to do peanuts, obviously, like we talked about, you can do this with the sun butter. You don't have to use the peanut butter, but if you wanted to use
Hey,
peanuts,
this is a workout.
get some arm workout, some tricep work.
I am feeling it.
And now we're gonna make a different kind of sauce. So we have tofu, we have shrimp. You may decide to go with, again, your base of the rice vinegar. Remember what happens with sugar when you put it in rice vinegar, right? It just dissolves. So a little bit of that rice vinegar.
And they say you should have that, like, in your cabinet for everything now.
Yeah, I mean, it really, works really great. A little bit of sugar. And so we're gonna use your rice vinegar. There we go. Let me just like a tablespoon. Again, I didn't measure that, but you'll have your recipe here to follow.
Okay.
And then just a little bit of sugar.
Okay.
We're gonna dissolve the sugar in there. And start to see it kind of just. So the goal with this is that we have a creamy sauce,
Okay.
and we're gonna have a light, sort of aromatic, herbaceous sauce by adding all of our herbs. So we have we did some mint, we have cilantro, and we have basil.
Okay.
In our spring rolls, but this is where you can really get very creative. So I'm gonna do a little scoop here of my mint and my basil. And my
Okay, that's something you're gonna cut up. Okay.
yeah, so I'm gonna chop it up and I'm gonna put it in the sauce. So again, I love a lot of spice, as you know.
Yeah. Me too.
So this is where I'm like, do I want everything spicy or do I want more? So this is or not, right? So I'm adding all these spices or these fresh herbs right into my sauce.
Great.
And because I have a little bit of that pepper, that spicy, sort of Thai pepper, the Fresno in there, I'm gonna add that in there too. And this is a very light sauce. So here I'm gonna add a little bit of citrus. So I'm doing my yummy. So I have basil, I have cilantro, I have mint, I have my spicy pepper, I have the rice vinegar, and now I will add some fresh lime juice. If you
I
have,
like how you do that instead of squeezing it. I like that.
this is my Italian method of doing it.
I'm gonna do that from now on because I just get it all over me instead of where it needs to
No,
be.
you just dig in.
Now that's common sense. I like
Right,
that.
there you go. You get a little bit of a squeeze.
And you're really getting all of it too.
Yeah, so, and if you want, just break it up. So you're breaking up the membranes. Get in there with the...
Both the shrimp and tofu spring rolls and flower power mocktail celebrate the beauty and flavor of edible flowers, making them the perfect combination for any occasion. Not only are they delicious and nourishing, but they also bring a touch of elegance and creativity to your table.
It's sweet, it's a little spicy, it's herbaceous, it's delicious. There we go. And mix it all up.
Nice.
There you go. Now, if you wanted to layer this, there's a lot of other things you can do with this. If this wasn't enough flavor for you, so now you're tasting this and you're like, it's good, but I need a little bit of missing something, I would add a little bit of fish sauce.
And ginger, you got ginger.
Yeah, you can definitely add some really great, slice up the ginger, like fresh chunks of ginger in there. Would be delicious with this, right? We can, we'll spice up some ginger. And actually I want to add some, let's see if you want to taste it. Want to do a taste test? Okay, we're going to do a taste test.
Okay.
Health coach, Pina emphasizes the importance of nutrition, blending the flavors of Asia with a focus on creating a meal that is not only delicious but also nourishing. Her tips on ingredient substitutes and portion control make the episode a valuable resource for anyone looking to embrace healthier cooking habits.
All right, now we're going to do a taste test, right? Because this is where, again, we're going to be like the artist in our kitchen.
True.
And we're doing edible flowers, we're doing our canvases. We talked so much about being artistic.
Yeah, that's why I shine. Yeah.
With our cooking, right? And so while we're being artistic with our cooking, this is where you don't have to stop here. The recipe says this, right? We know we talked about this a lot, right? Being able to be like, well, what other flavors do you want?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little taste test here. If my goal with this is that if it's not going to give you that just big kick, think about the ingredients that you're having that with. We can add fish sauce to this. We can add like fresh ginger chopped up. We can keep layering this. We can add soy sauce to this even. So we're going to do a little taste test, and then you tell me if we want to add some more flavor to it.
Okay.
And then taking a big chunk of, all of your herbs in there. You got to get all the good flavors in there with the herbs.
Ooh, a lot of vinegar.
Okay, so it needs a sweetener?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to sweeten that up.
There's a lot of vinegar, yeah.
All right, so let's sweeten that up for you. All right, so it had a lot of vinegar, right? So we're going to balance this out, add some like umami flavor to it. So like let's add some fish sauce to this. There we go, just a very small amount of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And maybe we'll add some soy sauce. There we go, just a little bit, right?
It gives a color,
like a teaspoon, it gives it a little bit of color, right? You're looking for that like nice color. Let's see how we're feeling about this. Ooh, I love this, right? You can see the color difference here already. If you did want it a little bit sweeter, I tend to not like things like super sweet, but if that's something that you wanted, on the side, I can already smell that.
The soy sauce.
Yeah, the soy and the fish sauce in here.
Sauce too,
yeah, like it really just captures that. And then we could do the fresh ginger too.
Okay.
So let's do another taste test and see if we got it right down to what we like it.
Let's see.
All right, we're getting ready to do a nice taste test. Let's see if we got it to like where we like it. And you can keep playing. So just play, have fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, let's see.
Let's take it all in. And remember, you're having this with.
I got a
You
pepper.
can just smell it too.
Pretty good.
Pretty good? What's it missing?
A little more soy.
Soy. Perfect. And some ginger maybe?
And the ginger.
All right, here we go.
That mint is good.
Mint, yeah. And let's add some spring onion.
Forgot about that.
All right, we're gonna add some spring onion. We're gonna add some more soy, right? So you're feeling the soy. So this is where I want you to just layer in your flavors.
Okay.
See? Okay, so let's keep going with a little bit more soy.
Yeah.
You good on the sweetness? You want it sweeter?
No, sweet.
Sweeter?
No.
Okay.
I like it spicy. I'm more of a salty, spicy, and sweet person.
Yeah.
I'm not a savory.
Okay. So let's add in. And because you're doing this to a sauce, your scallion should be very, very, very thin.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't want big chunks when you're adding them to a sauce, so something like that, where you can just get a nice flavor burst. That's
Cute
now we got
little spoon.
So cute.
Oh, what is it called, anyways?
That's a spatula.
Spatula.
Yeah.
I call it a spoon.
So let's see if we have maybe cutting our ginger. All right, and we will provide you with the final recipe, because we're vamping with this recipe right here. So it's your base, your canvas, and then you're adding based on your flavor profiles, which I just absolutely love. So we've added scallion. We're going to add some ginger. And then for the ginger, you want to go really fine mince. You don't want to taste, some people are very sensitive to ginger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
Why?
it just gets a very strong flavor.
Oh, okay.
Pungent in your mouth. So
Oh, that's true.
so when you're chopping it in a sauce like this, make sure that you're getting a really fine chop.
Yeah, that
As you
makes
can
sense.
see, like where our scallion, we just wanted a thin slice to this. With our ginger, we're just going to go with a nice fine chop.
Okay.
And you can do that because you are your own artist in your own kitchen. Okay, so now we've added the scallion based on Miss Minervia's taste buds. She was feeling a little bit more soy, maybe a little bit of ginger.
That's really gonna be it.
So scallion, we're like, okay, let's pop this up with flavor. Let's see what you think. Get all those bits in there. You got to try all the ginger in there.
I got you, baby. The ginger's like, Yeah, that was it.
Fish sauce.
Yeah.
We have that rice vinegar. Like just a little bit of sugar. So you didn't want to add any more sugar and you didn't want to add any more heat. So it's all balanced, right?
It's all balanced.
And we have lime juice.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh lime juice. Fresh.
We did the Italian way.
The Italian way. So
For our
true.
Vietnamese spring rolls. And that's it. Now we have two sauces, and oh my goodness, look how gorgeous!
It looks so good, doesn't it? Oh my goodness.
So pretty.
Look how pretty this looks. Up here more, probably. Yeah.
And again,
Looks
if you're
delicious.
serving this sauce, you may want to finer chop on that herb, or you just love the way that it just looks like that. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it looks
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
All right, so thank you everyone for tuning in. Super excited to have everyone in our audience. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much. And make sure that you are following us on Instagram at Fashion Monger Academy, that you are following us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're looking for subscribers. Yay. Please do that. It helps us grow and it helps us know what you guys like. On your comments, please send us information. If there are any videos that you want to see us post, anything you want to learn, we can do anything. So if anything that you want to learn, I'd be happy to be able to provide that content with you in our Minervia fabulousness. We'll also be able to do anything related to fashion decor. So we've got this for you. And our dish today was greatly inspired by my love for fresh foods. And I think of cooking like a science, but I also think cooking like an art. So if you can cook from your heart and you can cook like an artist, you have dishes like this. And they're beautiful, right? So why don't we want to eat something that's so beautiful, that's so healthy for us? So I was inspired by this dish because it brings me joy to be able to cook from my heart and then to see my canvas. And you can see that when we were going through kind of our lesson here on the things that you can have, anything. You're not limited. I don't want you to feel like limited. You have a playground of food. Try all different things. Really go crazy with this, like get creative. So please let us know, try the dish. See if you get super creative, try something really wild and let us know about it. Just anything that inspires you, or you might want to do cross cultures or something like really different. You don't have to stay traditional Vietnamese like spring rolls, but go for it, go for it. The world is your canvas. Enjoy, play, and then let us know. Tune in.
Sponsored by Ocean Wave Cleaning and Restoration.